What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. So we are just about a month away from New York Comic Con, and the maps were finally released, including the show floor. So I'm going to go through everything you need to know about the maps here at the Javits Center, and I'll help you out if you're not exactly sure where to go as far as lining up and whatnot. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll be updating you on all things NYCC as we head on to the con here in this October. So what we have here is the overall general view of the entire Javits Center. And you can see here it goes from level 1 to level 5. Now level 5 and 4, they're not in a separate building, but it's an addition that was added. And so you have to kind of know how to actually get there because you can't do it from inside the actual convention center. So we'll go through all of that to help you guys out. I'll let you know if you are a VIP or ADA. There are different if you are VIP or ADA, there are different lines for you to be waiting in to get into the show floor. And it's not in the regular area where the general public will be waiting. So we'll go through all of this and I'll help you out the best that I can. Hopefully the cursor is glowing for you, so that will help you follow along with the tracking of where we're actually going to be headed. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to go advance to the next floor. But again, this is just your general overall view. So when you actually enter into the building, you are actually entering in on level 2. So that would be this area here. And the line is usually wrapped around from this area here. So the water it would be back over here. This is going to be your main street. And over here is where the line will be wrapped around. Now, obviously, this is just showing the Javits Center, so it's not going to show the surrounding buildings. But basically, right here is kind of like where the start of the line happens. And the line goes this way down the street. And you'll see how it kind of wraps around the corner depending upon what time you actually get to the actual convention. And then after you head in, security is right around this area. You'll go through, you'll walk through your security, they'll check your bags and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty quick. They have a pretty good system where you're not really delayed very much right here. After you get through security, in this area here, you're going to see different activations, things they're promoting. You can usually grab a free lanyard and all that kind of stuff. Once you actually get into the building, so this green area right here, this is kind of like your entrance where you see this like little yellow line right here. You're kind of entering here through these doors. Now, you can go down and walk down this direction, but usually that is for latecomers. So if you are arriving later, they're going to make you head down this way, and you're going to be waiting in lines through over here to actually get into the building. They actually make you walk almost all the way down, if I do believe. And this is actually where you enter, is down here by this green section. If you are there early enough where you are waiting in that long line, you'll enter in through these doors here. Now, like I was mentioning earlier, level 4 and level 5 is separate from the actual convention floor. So if that's something you're going to, like for example, you're trying to head up to like the Empire stage or something like that, you're going to head out this way and go this way. And you'll see extra doors here, and that is how you take the escalators up to get to this floor 4 and 5. So that, again, that's a whole separate like side of the building here. But let's talk about going to the actual convention line. Once you get in here, you're going to be taking an escalator down, which is kind of like, I guess, what this might be right here, and that will take you down to level 1. So we're going to go ahead and move on over to level 1, and you'll kind of see how this is structured. Now, I'm actually going to go backwards compared to like how this is actually shown on their website. So here's level 1. So you are coming down the escalator, and you can see on the far right is where your autographing is, and that is going to be hall 1A. So that's where all your autographs are. In 1B, that's going to be your artist alley, and they have a full map of that, which I'm not really going to go over in this video, but this lists pretty much everything, and this is how it's all structured. So you can see they have a ton of different artists. I mean, you could spend half a day just walking down these aisles and checking out what people bring. But this is pretty much where that is. Now, when we head back to level 1, this here where it says Q Hall and Photo Ops. So basically what happens is you're going to be coming down the escalator and you're going to be fed into this Q area. Now, we're this little this little info booth here, this little icon, the red icon. This is kind of sort of where that line will begin. It's back a little bit, but more or less it's right there. And what you're going to do is the line is going to be queued all the way down. And then what they do is they make line 1, and then they'll have like line 2, line 3, and they'll feed those lines up the escalators when the convention center floor opens. And so like all of these people will go, and then when that group is gone, then the next row will be sent up, and so on and so forth. This is the area. So it's 1C. This is pretty much where you want to be at the start of the day. Now you can see over here where they have photo ops. So all of your autographs are going to be 1A. Your photos are going to be down in 1C. So it's separate from the autographs now. They used to have it all combined, and it used to be like in this area over here. But that is since been changed. So your photos are going to be over here, and all your autographs are along this huge room right here. And it's chaos. It's crazy. So if you are really looking to get an autograph from somebody that you've already prepaid for, I always recommend getting it earlier rather than later, because these lines do get really long. All right, so once you actually get back upstairs, now I'm going to head over back to level 2. So level 2 is more or less, this is kind of like where you come in, like we were talking about earlier, and then here's your escalators that take you up or down. So there's your down escalator, these escalators here, and there's also stairs along the way. This will take you up to the show floor. Basically, if you're in line, just follow the crowd. Down on this level here, there's also outside, there's a bunch of food trucks. So you can get that, So this is kind of like where you can go for lunch. This is one option. And there's also options for food down on level 1. Plus, there's tons and tons of restaurants, within probably a half mile to 3/4 of a mile of the convention. So if you want to get out of there, you can do that as well. But basically, level 2 is like your transition level where you're going to be going up and down. So then level 3. All right, so we have waited in the queue, and we are now heading up to the show floor. And what we want to do here is we're going to be going up one of these 2 escalators. Some people do walk up these stairs because the escalators can get very crowded. But basically, you're just going to head up, and right in here is the show floor, and this is where you're going to basically enter through one of the doors. Now, the show floor map we'll go through kind of at the end of the video, because there's one big change for all you Funko fans out there, and they have moved that booth, which we'll cover. But basically, you're going up these escalators, and that will take you right to the show floor. Now, if you are VIP, I'm going to head back over to the overview. VIP, you guys will actually not have to wait in this line. In ADA, this goes for you as well. Now, I am not 100% sure of where you actually have to enter. I believe you still may have to wait in this outside line, but once you get in, what you're going to do is instead of going down, you can actually go up. Now, if you have been a VIP and you can actually go wait in your VIP line right away, let me know down in the comments, because I'm not 100% sure. But right now, I'm assuming you have to wait in the line outside. When you get inside, then instead of heading down, VIP and ADA, you are actually heading up the escalator. And then at that point, you just kind of search and see or ask to see where this line is. And the VIP line and the ADA line will be up in the show floor area. Now I'm going to drop back down to level 3. and it can kind of show you this would be your escalator you take up, and the line would be structured somewhere over here. So again, you're just going to ask, or kind of just find it, because you'll see a bunch of people waiting the line. Just double check. People are usually pretty good at helping you out. But that is where your VIP line is and your ADA. Now, unlike San Diego Comic-Con, at San Diego Comic-Con, there is no VIP tickets. ADA typically gets let in at the exact same time as regular general public, because it's two different areas that being fed into the convention center. Now here, I have heard that VIP and ADA are allowed in first, then the general public line starts moving up those escalators. So, just know, even if you're first in line, there's going to be people on the floor that beat you, and it can get frustrating. Trust me, I understand. I've been going to New York Comic Con since 2016, and this is the first time I'm VIP, so I'll be very, very curious to see the difference of the show floor, being able to beat the general public in. But anyways, so this is basically how you get into the convention center. And one more time, just in case you missed it, if you do happen to get to the convention late, you will be fed this direction. You will not be allowed to go in these doors. You'll go this way, come in the corner, and I can kind of show you. If you look at level 2, you'll be coming in right over here, and then there's an escalator and stairs and all that kind of stuff to take you up or down. But again, that is if you're arriving probably after, I would say probably 9 o'clock or so. Usually I get in line more like around 7:30. But just know, if you do get there late, you will be in this long line. And they will not open up these doors until this entire line gets through and goes in this side. Once that happens, then, probably around 11:30 usually, then the rest of these doors will be open and you're free to go. So just know that if you do happen to get there late, you will have to wait in this line before you can get in. You can't just go into these doors. All right, so if that was confusing at all, let me know in the comments. I'll try to, kind of explain it better. But basically, that's what we're looking at. Now, what we're going to do is, before I get to the show floor, I want to go to the level 4. So level 4, there's actually 2 sections. So this part here, where it says Professional Programming and Pro Lounge, this is going to be where you are going to have, this is a smaller little section inside the convention center that you can take an escalator up to. And then you can see over here, this level 4, this is what we were talking about earlier. It's on the separate little building to the side where you have to enter down this direction here, and this would take you up to different room panels. And, these are going to be some of your larger rooms, which is the reason why they built it. So that's your level 4. Really quick, before we get to level 5, I'm going to swing back down just to kind of show you level 1 again. Because level 1, there's a bunch of panels, rooms is along this wall right here. So these are going to be your smaller ones. A lot of times when they have private autographs, they're swung by over here in the last room. And then your VIP lounge, for the VIP members who are going, the food court area is kind of down toward the end. Your VIP lounge is kind of structured right here in 1E. Again, this used to be where autographing was 1E. And you can see that it's a little wider, but this one's longer, which is why they use it. But here's your VIP lounge and your food court and different arcade rooms and all that kind of stuff. But so there you go. That's on level 1. All right, back over to level 5 now. Level 5, the only level you're going to see here is on that new building. This is where the Empire stage is, and this is going to be situated on level 5. Again, you have to go up double escalators and you'll find your way. If you are a VIP, here is the rules for panels. You do not need to participate in the reservation system because you are guaranteed a seat, and you just have to get there about 35 to 45 minutes early, and you're guaranteed to have a seat closer to the actual stage. So again, the Empire stage is huge, and you'll be, up here closer. These are all reserved. Now, I didn't email Repop or whoever it was that actually takes care of this. And what I asked was, what happens if I got VIP and my wife doesn't? Is she allowed to come sit with me in the VIP area? So what I was told was it doesn't seem like there's a strict rule on this. So my best guess is it seems like I can probably get her up there. She probably won't be allowed to wait in line with me because there is a separate VIP line to enter the Empire stage. But, I could probably save her a seat. It kind of just depends, I guess, of how many people are in there and everything else. But I have a feeling that it really won't be much of an issue. But again, that's something that I'll probably talk about in my my NYCC, after the con video. We'll talk about that and, what happened. Also, if you arrive late, you are also supposedly guaranteed to get into the panel still, although you may have to stand in the back. And this is something, again, I'll check out. And I know that's any panel. So you're only guaranteed a seat in the Empire stage and level number 1. If we go swing back there really quick, level 1's right here, and the main stage. So that you're guaranteed a seat in the main stage and the Empire stage for any panel during the entire weekend. But if you get there late, I don't know if they guarantee you standing room in those 2 panel rooms, but I know in any of these or in any of the ones over on the side building here that you are guaranteed to get in. And if there are no seats available, they will let you stand, because again, you are paying a much, much larger price tag on these tickets. All right, so we're gonna head over to let's go to the show floor now. Now, when you come up the escalator from level 1, if you are general public, you'll be coming up in this area or this area here. It really does depend if you take stairs, if you take the escalator or whatnot. But basically, this is one of the areas you are coming up into. The one big thing here with the show floor, and I'm going to kind of blow this up a little bit, just kind of scan through it so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. What we're going to do here is, you can see that the show floor is massive, right? And again, here's your 2 areas right here on screen that you're going to be coming into. Funko. Let's talk about Funko just for a minute. It's always one of the biggest booths. And yes, you will have to need a reservation to get into the booth. Now, down in level 1, throughout the day, they will start a line. And that line you can wait in. And people will literally be in that line all day long waiting to get into the Funko booth. But that line is down kind of where we queued in at the beginning of the day. Funko used to be where you see this Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon area. This is pretty much where Funko used to be. And I know Nickelodeon's always been there. I don't know if it looks bigger just because they have more room now because Funko's not there. But basically, this is where Funko used to be. And it used to always be a big issue because their line is always very long. And this is basically like where the queue line would be for Funko. And you would head in or whatever. So Funko has now been moved to the other side of the convention. So instead of heading out left, once you get there, you want to head right. So again, you'll be coming in either here or here, and you're gonna head out right. Here is your official show store for New York Comic Con. So it's over in the corner now. So I think it's probably a good move because now they have more room. There's really no other bigger booths. $7 a pop is there. They get pretty crazy busy, but it's never like a huge line or anything like that. So it kind of makes sense that they move them and they're going to be over here. Now, $7 a pop will have autographs. At least they have in the past because this booth used to be on the other side as well. So they do need a little more room because of the autographs. So I'll be curious to see how this will work out. And then you can kind of see some of the other booths here listed. But basically the show floor, from what I've seen from the places I usually travel and go to, it does look very similar. As in the past. So Hasbro doesn't look like they're going to be there again this year, which I always find super disappointing. I don't understand why, but it doesn't look like they're there. Walmart is here, and this is a newer booth. So you have Walmart kind of in the middle there, and then Bandai's in the same area. Viz is in the same area. eBay, I think, has moved as well. I believe eBay did used to be further down here in this area. You Thrill Joy collectors, I don't see them on here right now. I think they're gonna be there though. They just don't have them listed. So we'll have to wait till we actually get all the correct booth numbers and everything. But I know they'll be there as well. And anyway, so there's Mondo and Loungefly kind of in the middle there. So this is a pretty popular area right in here, obviously, and that could also be one of the reasons why they did move Funko, because this is a pretty busy area. You know, that's the middle of the floor there. But yeah, I mean, so overall, you know, that is kind of what your maps look like for this year. And you know, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. But basically, you know, that's how you're going to get into the actual convention center and make way to whatever booth you're trying to get to. All right, guys. Well, let me know in the comments if you have any other questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. And don't forget to keep those heads on. And I'll see you guys in the next video.